All right.
We are live.
We are live. Welcome, everyone. I'm John Gardner. This is Radlin Mendoza. And
how's it going, guys?
We are Gardner and Mendoza. We're a little different backdrop here. We're joining you today from Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, down in the Outer Banks. For those of you who are familiar with it, we're learning more. There's Kitty Hawk, Kildova Hills, Nag's Head, Corolla, Southern Shores, Manio, Duck. Did I miss
Hatteras.
Hatteras, yeah. For those that
We're
really
north.
want to be. Yeah, I looked at the map. Hatteras is got to be a little crazy to live out there. But anyway.
Yes, we're doing a little work from a different location, work and school from a different location. So it's been fun.
Yeah, so we're kind of on a little beach cottage. We got a rickety old screened-in porch here. It's pretty cool. We're having a wonderful time. If you've never been to the Outer Banks, you should definitely come down sometime and check it out. It's really cool.
Hi, Ms. Myrna. Thanks for watching, and everyone else who's tuning in for our weekly Facebook Live. It's October 28th, 2020. I can't believe it. Time goes by, and this is our 20th anniversary month. We opened our law firm October 2000, right?
That's right. October
Didn't you
2000.
look at the business license, and it was sometime in October? We should get the exact date. So
right.
So our 20th anniversary month. So it's a big fun month.
Absolutely.
We haven't really done anything officially to celebrate, though. That's for sure.
Not yet. That's
Other
true.
than getting on Facebook Live with you guys.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're here in the Outer Banks, and of course, as always, we are prepared to take all of your questions. If you have any questions about any immigration issues, please let us know. We're also going to give you some updates on the courts and USCIS and the Wright Brothers Museum. No, I'm kidding. We won't.
Check out the Wright Brothers Museum. It was very cool. We were there for a couple of hours, and
yeah, we went there day before yesterday.
I don't think I've ever spent that much time in a museum.
It was very cool, but we won't bore you with any of it. You just, if you're ever down here in the Outer Banks, make sure to check it out. It was really neat.
Check it out. I'm going to be looking for questions in the comments here.
Yeah,
so
put them in the comments.
Please put them in the comments. I'm trying to look for our actual live video on the Facebook page, but we'll figure that out. We'll find it.
Also, I want to let you know that we always make this joke that our lawyer, but it's not a joke really at all. Our lawyer always reminds us to tell you that everything we do here is for educational purposes and informational purposes only, that this is not legal advice. So come here to get some information. That's cool. Come here to get your immigration and other legal questions answered. That's cool. That's why we do it, and we love doing it. But don't rely on it as legal information, because you can't. Okay? If you want to be able to rely on it, then what do you have to do?
Call us.
That's right. That's right. Come in for a consultation.
Were you just checking to see if I was listening? I was listening.
No.
He was quizzing me. Harshan's on. How's it going, Harshan? Thanks for saying hi the other day. It was great to see you. It was very cool to see one of our friends on our Facebook friends.
Yeah.
Out in the public.
So what are we going to talk about tonight? We are going
we're
going to go through the court updates. I'm going to let you know what's going on with that. That's going to be very brief. I am also going to be talking to you again about the Virginia driving privilege card. January is right around the corner, so we're going to be talking about that. We're going to have some USCIS updates and also some experience from what's going on over there. And of course, answering your questions.
It is January 2021 that's starting already.
That's right.
Wow, that's just in a couple of months.
I know. And
how is that possible?
I hope folks are aware of it and getting into it. But before we get to all that stuff, let's first have, we had somebody with a tip and also a review. We always like to read tips from people and reviews. The reviews really make us happy, because then we know we're doing things right, and we know that our team is doing things right, and that makes all of us very happy. So,
am I reading this review?
You are.
Oh, okay.
Brag session. I mean, that's
session.
That's your thing.
Woohoo! I love to brag about the team. We both do. So this was a 5-star Google review, actually posted just yesterday. So it's kind of long, but it's I'm going to read all of it. I had a great experience working with them. They are very experienced in immigration cases. I remember when I just decided to apply, I was delayed with my documents, and my lawyer, Sarah, that's Sarah Lawler, attorney Sarah Lawler at the law firm, would email me to make sure I provided what was needed, and the office would also follow up with a phone call. They were always available. During the pandemic, I still got frequent phone calls and emails letting me know the status of my case. I remember calling and didn't leave a voicemail, and they still called back just to ensure that my needs as a client were met. They have a great payment plan for those who are not able to pay at once. They also keep you updated with all immigration changes. The service is 100%. I would recommend everyone to use Gardner Mendoza. They provide professional, competent service. What? When I read that review, did that bring a tear to your eye in our 20th year?
It's even more. Even more beautiful than the Outer Banks, I gotta say.
I was just like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, I love reading the reviews, and we got so many of them this week. So
yeah, that was
we're only gonna read one per week. We could take up the whole Facebook Live just reading our reviews, but who wants to read? I mean, we want that, but
yeah,
probably,
we'd love to do
else
that,
doesn't.
but nobody wants to do that.
Ah, Kate Biba. Thank you, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Kate, I was just talking to John about how all I did was give you a tip. And I don't know if you remember the tip, but I just gave you a tip, and you took my tip, and here we are. Here we are. So hello, everyone. Again, thank you guys for joining us.
Yep, if you're just tuning in, we are in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, in the Outer Banks this evening, in a little screened-in porch of a little Outer Banks shack. We're really having fun.
I wouldn't call it a shack.
It's
I
pretty.
think the owner of the screen and porch, I think the owner of the place
would not like me calling it a
issue
shack.
with you calling the 4-bedroom,
It's a beach shack, is what I mean.
It's not really a shack.
Okay. Anyway.
I don't do shacks.
Okay. so
right.
let's talk before we get. There's a tip that we have that came from a client. But why don't I go ahead and just really quickly hit the updates on the state courts, because I like to do that every week. No real changes except for one. The Virginia Beach Circuit Court is closed this week. Okay, so if you have court tomorrow or Friday in Circuit Court, be careful. We're talking about the Virginia Beach Circuit Court.
Why would we be in Circuit Court?
Well, you would be in Circuit Court if you have a case pending there. If it's a civil case that's going on there, or a divorce or something, or maybe if it's a criminal or traffic matter, it would have to be a felony or maybe a misdemeanor that you appealed to the Circuit Court for a de novo review. But other than that, you'd probably not be in Circuit Court. But if you are, the court's closed. They had some folks that tested positive down there in the clerk's office or some such thing. So just make sure you check. If you have court anywhere else, everything is still going forward. That includes Virginia Beach and all the surrounding courthouses. As I've been telling you every week, just make sure you bring a mask. That's the really important thing. You will need a mask to go into the courthouses. They are still asking all the same questions that they've been asking for months now. Whether you have any COVID symptoms, whether you've been exposed to anyone that you know has COVID symptoms, whether you've traveled outside of the country within the last 14 days, or whether you've been asked by any healthcare professional to self-quarantine in the last 14 days. Some of the courthouses are also taking your temperature to come in, so it's all pretty routine at this point. But make sure you do have a mask, okay? But everything is totally online going forward, and nothing to worry about. There's a lot of social distancing is all marked throughout the courthouse. Everything is cool, so you don't need to be worried about it. But you do need to show up. All right.
Yeah, you gotta show up.
You only
now.
need to worry about it if you're not there, because then you issue an arrest warrant. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah, and you guys be careful out there. I think I've heard more than one time that it's not about whether if we're going to get COVID, it's about when and how we're going to be reacting to it. So you guys try to be healthy and drink plenty of water, and try not to eat too much fried shrimp. Mm-hmm. That's what I've been doing for the past couple of days.
That's right. Well, I had
shrimp and grits.
I had Carolina shrimp and grits last night.
I shared it.
Yeah.
At least we shared a meal last night.
It was delicious.
Very good. Yes. We're actually here with John's mom and Aunt Sue. So
yes.
They're here, and that's why we're here, to visit La Familia.
That's right.
And John's mom and Aunt Sue are out there. They took our youngest one souvenir shopping.
Yes.
So
that's right. They're out.
While we are here doing the Facebook Live, they
in
are
the
looking
souvenir
at
shops.
Kitty Hawk snow globes.
Uh-huh.
All right, so this is pretty cool. I thought this was pretty cool because one of our Facebook Live watchers and friend of Gardner Mendoza, he sent me an email. He said, hey, you might want to share this with your Facebook Live or another blog session, which I thought was cool because he was watching our Facebook Live. But this is from a self-filer, somebody who does not use an attorney, and there are a lot of people out there in our Facebook Live community who may be self-filers. And of course, some of our clients come on to watch Facebook Live, and just other people who are interested in immigration come and watch Facebook Live or the court updates. But he sent me an email, and he said, hey, I think I have a problem. I filed to renew my green card, and I filed with the I-90. The I-90 form to renew my green card. And I said, ooh, that's, you had a 2-year card, so you really needed to file the I-751 petition to remove the conditions on your lawful permanent residence card. So if you are married to a U.S. citizen and that is how you got your green card, and when you went to your immigration interview and you were married to that U.S. citizen for less than 2 years, you are going to get a 2-year green card, okay, because you've been married for less than 2 years. And in that 90-day window before the expiration of your 2-year green card, you have to file Form I-751. Now, some people think, oh, well, there's this I-90, it looks pretty simple, I'm going to file this because it's to renew my green card. Now, the I-90 is to renew a person's green card only if they've had that green card for 10 years. So that's to renew the 10-year green card. You cannot use the I-90 to renew a 2-year conditional permanent resident card. So he sent this email and he said, just to let you know, I did follow up with USCIS about my error in first applying for the incorrect new green card. He's talking about filing the I-90. Yes, you guessed it, they rejected the appeal. So lesson for anyone out there that may be worth sharing on your Facebook Live is it cost me 2 times as much. I had to apply again, this time with the correct paperwork for the 751, and I did receive a letter confirming 18-month extension because they are so backed up. So this is really important for our family immigration community out there because I see this a lot. We see this a lot with people filing the wrong form to remove the conditions on the lawful permanent resident card. And even on the USCIS website, uscis.gov, there are all kinds, I believe there are warnings on the I-90 that says that you do not file this form if you have a 2-year conditional green card, lawful permanent residence. So that's a little tip. I thought it was cool that, you know, you guys are reaching out to us and wanting us to share some things to the community. And this was a filing tip from a self-filer. It's also a tip from us.
Yeah.
Do not file the I-90 to remove the conditions on your 2-year green card. You will lose your money, like this gentleman did. It sounds like maybe he tried to appeal it and then lost that money, and then he now has to pay for the 751. So it's a lot of filing fees. So he was kind enough to share that, and good to bring that back to everyone's attention, right, and just remind everyone about that.
And the broader tip is that hopefully if you're filing, you'll come to us. Just do it once. Do it right. Never do it again. You know, self-filing, of course, is possible. It's like taxes. I mean, you know, it is certainly possible to prepare and file your own tax returns, but there are inherent risks in doing that because there are potholes and pitfalls along the way that you just don't know about. And with immigration, you know, the stakes are really high, and sometimes the errors can really be costly. Sometimes they can even be fatal to a case, so you really want to be careful. And that's not just a plug to hire us. It's
a plug. Yes, absolutely. Come hire us.
It's just a fact. It is a fact.
It is a fact. Yeah.
It is very. It's it's a complicated maze to go through, filled with landmines, and yeah, some of them can really derail your whole case. So you want to be careful.
Yeah, and just kind of along the lines of the 751, the petition to remove the conditions on your lawful permanent residence, you also can't file that too early. Okay, if you file it in the wrong time frame, then they will take your money and then they will deny it. And you have to file it again. And we see that with self-filers as well. I mean, we know about self-filers because we represent self-filers who come to us after their cases have been derailed. And we've seen that a few times where, you know, our clients, they filed the 751, it gets denied because they filed it too soon, and then they're kind of freaking out because by the time they get the denial, their 2-year conditional resident card has already expired. So, like, am I out of status? What am I going to do? Mm-hmm. So there are several pitfalls just in that little mini subset of immigration that we do here at Gardner Mendoza. So right. There is the tip.
Yep, and thank you for that. Whoever sent that, that's awesome.
Yes. I'm just gonna quickly go over COVID-19 updates, what it's like at the immigration office. Our lawyers have been there pretty much every week. We're there a couple times a week, and it's definitely picked up. It's busy. It's busy. It's back to, well, I'm not going to say it's back to being as busy as it was before, but when we first went in, when they started doing interviews, you know, we were the only people there on the second floor waiting for the interview. Now, all the seating, which is already quite limited, it's they now have an overflow seating section so we can maintain 6 feet social distancing. So it's definitely busier. I've seen more immigration officers interviewing. So for those who, you know, last couple weeks ago, we had some clients who were concerned, or some community members that were concerned about social distancing, what they're going to do if somebody is immunocompromised. And we are taking those questions to the field office director for his, they're holding a meeting next month, and we'll be there. It's going to be virtual, and we have the questions. So if you have a question and it's something that, you know, we need to ask the Norfolk USCIS office, then please write those in the comments, and we'll get that question answered for you as well. But it's busy. It's busy, and I do feel like if you have some issues being around people and being in an enclosed room, and not necessarily 6 feet apart from your attorney, and if it's a spousal case or even if it's a naturalization case, then it could be a problem for you because it's very tight quarters.
Yeah, it's not as spread out as the state courthouses and the courtrooms in the state courthouses. I agree with that.
Yes, and so it was busy. Yesterday I was there. They had a computer issue, and we didn't get called for, you know, an hour and 45 minutes. Totally understandable. I mean, it goes with the territory. So sometimes our clients and people who write in or call us like, how long is it going to take? Well, if you don't have to wait, then your interview is going to take probably 30 minutes or less. I mean, sometimes I've seen them go longer. Depends on the case. It also depends on whether your immigration officer, because of social distancing, if it's a case with a marriage case, whether the officer is going to take you and your spouse and your attorney all together, or whether the officer is going to take one spouse and your attorney and then bring the other spouse out and bring the other spouse in, and so there are only 3 max people in the office. So that is also causing the interviews to run longer. And you know, we'll see how it goes. I think that Norfolk is aware of some of the backlog in time, and you know, it just goes with the territory. I don't complain about it. I sat and had a wonderful conversation with my clients yesterday, and probably learned more about them in that hour and 45 minutes than I did in the whole year that we represented them. So it was cool. Really wonderful people, and the interview went well. All is well that ends well.
That's
so
right.
Just expect that. Just expect to go in there and possibly wait. And don't get mad. It's no one's fault. I mean, it's just we're in this situation, or try not to get mad or frustrated, because that's just going to make you even more nervous for your interview. I try to I try to roll with it, and I think that everyone should try to roll with it, because what can you do? Mm-hmm. Just try to stay calm, and when your interview finally comes, then just you'll be not angry. So I think we have a question. Can you read that? Uh-oh, here comes our age, because we're kind of kicked back.
Hey guys, here's something new. I got my biometrics done back in August, specifically for I-485 and I-765. Got my, God, I can't see the rest of it. Got my combo card with my fingerprints printed on the card by September. However, last week I received a second biometrics appointment for this November for I-131 and I-765. Why?
Huh.
My only assumption is this is actually for the I-485.
Okay, so this is our friend BJ. We've been following BJ, right? He's been checking in with us and very, very kind to writing questions. That he's got biometrics. Got the combo card 765. Could be a glitch. Could be a glitch.
Yeah.
Sometimes this happens where our clients are printed already, and then another fingerprint notice is sent out, and it's a mistake. So I would go, BJ. I wouldn't not go. I don't know where you live, but I would go if it's not too inconvenient for you to go. Unfortunately, the application support center manager, she is no longer there, so they don't have someone that I know personally that I could talk to about, whether you should go or whether this is a mistake. But I would, you could either, a couple of things that you could do. You could call if you call the 1-800 number, then they'll probably tell you to go as well. I mean, that's what I'm going to tell you to do is to go, because in the event that there was a problem with your fingerprints or whatever, but you should still go. But thanks for letting us know that. That has definitely happened before, where they have issued biometrics appointments notices in error. So thanks for letting us know, though.
Yeah, absolutely. All
right. So those were the COVID-19 updates at Norfolk USCIS and the tip. And you want to talk a little bit again, since January 1st, 2021 is coming up. It's right around the corner.
That's right. That's right. I can jump in here. This is a reminder again that in January the Virginia Driving Privilege Card law will go into effect. This basically will allow you to get a card to drive legally in Virginia without showing anything regarding immigration. Okay, so whatever your immigration status is, it does not matter for this card. Okay, all you'll have to show is that you have been living in Virginia for at least 12 months prior to applying for it, that you have income in Virginia, that you have reported, there's some question here, reported on tax returns, and also that you'll be able to show proof of with, say, a pay stub or some other way. Okay, if you filed on your tax returns, then obviously that's going to work. Or if you have been claimed as a dependent on somebody's tax return who was filed in the last 12 months, all right, showing income in Virginia. You also will have to show proof of insurance, and also you'll have to show that you can pass the driving test by taking it, okay? And if you can do those things, then you will be able to get a driving privilege card, which will allow you to drive in Virginia, regardless of your immigration status, or if you have a case pending or whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? All you can use it for is driving. That's the one thing. The question that I've been getting a lot from folks is, oh, can I use this, for example, as ID kit on an airplane or something? The answer is no. This is only for the limited purpose of driving, okay? But I know a ton of people out there, including a lot of my clients, who will benefit tremendously from this, because, the reality is folks are working, you have to drive to get to work, and that's a real problem for people. Even people that have a license from another country, you can use that license for a while. It's legal to drive in Virginia on a foreign license, but once you become a resident of the state, then you're required to switch over to a Virginia license, and you're deemed a resident after you've been living in the state for 6 months or more. So once you pass 6 months of living here, or I shouldn't say here because we're in the Outer Banks right now, living there in Virginia, then you're a resident, and then you're supposed to get a Virginia driver's license, and I know that becomes a problem for people showing for various immigration reasons. So if you will benefit from this law or you think you might, let us know and we can help you get things together that you'll need to do it. If you know anyone who you think will benefit from this, please let them know. It's a huge deal, and it's just getting very little press, and I think people aren't talking about it much. And
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. I mean, we are in the middle of a presidential election. The COVID pandemic is still around, and so I understand why it's not top on people's minds. But if you'll benefit from it or know somebody, let them know. Okay.
Right. I can't believe that it's coming around on January 1st of 2021.
Yeah.
That's just in a couple of months.
That's in 2 months.
When you started talking about it, it's a long time from now.
The reason I want people to start calling now for help is because I know how these things all work. What happens is we'll get a call, and then somebody will tell them what they need, and then it's going to take time. They're going to say, "Oh, well, I don't know if I have that. Let me start working on it."
Right.
And then it takes time. It's just like immigration. Any of you who have been through an immigration process, you know, it takes time to get documents together. You know, you get this list of all these documents that are required, and sometimes it's hard to find documents.
You guys know how long it takes to get documents to your immigration lawyer.
Yeah, or to get replacement documents, or you're missing
it's tough.
so it takes time. So, if you'll benefit from it, just start now.
Start now.
Okay.
The dogs are barking.
Oh yeah,
they're like, stop talking.
The sun has set.
The sun has.
Here in Kitty Hawk, and now all the wild Carolina animals are coming out.
Yes, that sounds like a golden retriever to me.
Not that one. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for that update again on the driver privilege card. That's going to help quite a lot.
That's the one update.
So, I mean, you do a lot of no OL representation in court, so you know how many people this is going to benefit.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yes, so move on it, okay? The other update, kind of switching back, if you don't mind, I want to hit, moving back to immigration for a moment. We're going to keep you posted. So, you know, the immigration fees were all set to go up on October 2nd.
Yep.
And they did not go up. And the reason they didn't go up, I won't get into all the details of the case, but there was a case, I think it was out of the San Francisco, the district that San Francisco is in, where a federal judge had enjoined all of the fees, meaning temporarily put a hold on the fee increase, okay? That case, all that litigation is still pending regarding that matter, and what will happen with it, I don't know. It's interesting, it kind of dovetails with another big piece of news involving the law, which is that we, in case you didn't notice with everything else going on, we have a new Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court that was sworn in on Tuesday, Amy Coney Barrett. You know, what her positions will be on immigration cases, I don't know. It's anybody's guess, really. So that case, the fee increase case, like everything else, may ultimately end up before the Supreme Court, and how those cases will be decided with the current balance. Well, I shouldn't say the current, the new balance that we have in the court now.
Is the imbalance?
Remains to be seen. So we'll keep you posted on that stuff going forward. Okay?
Absolutely. So and just what we say week after week is we don't know when the fee increases are going to happen. We've been saying since March, since February, just get your case filed. Get your case filed as soon as possible. If you can file your N-400, if you can file your marriage case, if you can file whatever case that you can file, you should file, because it's just going to take that much longer if you wait. I mean, I know that it sounds silly for me to say that, you know, the longer you wait, the longer your case is going to take, but that's even more true with immigration right now, just because things are going to get back. They're already backlogged, and they're just going to keep getting, the backlog is going to keep getting worse. So we will still continue to beat that drum. File your case. File your case.
Yes.
First in, first out. That's the way it works. And I think the dog wants us to stop talking.
Yeah.
It's just like, guys, it's dark and it's dinner
interesting
time.
trivia question. I'll have to double check it, but I think they said that she is the 115th Supreme Court Justice to be sworn in.
Huh.
If I'm not
Seems like
mistaken.
a lot.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. 9 of them over 100 plus years.
yeah. Like the lights of this property are coming on us. It's
Okay.
okay. We're gonna push through here.
Yeah.
Let's see if there are any questions. I don't think we have any questions so far. 2 weeks ago we were all questions.
That's right. It just
And-
depends. Some nights we have a ton of questions, and some nights we don't.
I think everyone's got it
We
all
don't
figured
have-
out. All right. So I wanted to. Someone brought something up, and this comes up sometimes with people who are self-filing. They go to their interviews by themselves, and they say, "Hey, the immigration officer, they gave me a piece of paper, and they checked this box on the paper, and the box says that my case is being held for review. Specifically, the box says, your case is being held for review at this time. USCIS does not require any further information or documentation from you. Should further information or documentation be required, you will receive a notice in the mail. We also may schedule another interview for you." So that's a box that the officer can check at your green card interview. The other box, which is the top box, which is the box that everyone wants to see, is your application petition has been recommended for approval. And the second box is additional evidence is required to complete your case. Please follow the instructions provided on the request for additional evidence, Form I-752. So there are other boxes there that they can check, but those are the 3 most common boxes. If you get the mystery box check of your case is being held for review, I think that scares people. They're just like, oh, what does that mean? Does that mean my case is bad? Does that mean they're going to deny my case? Everybody freaks out when they see this 3rd box check. But I will tell you, as an immigration attorney who goes to our Norfolk Immigration Office a lot, this is the box that is most checked. And that means that doesn't mean anything is wrong with the case. It just means that, most likely the officer still has to take one last look before approving the case and doesn't want to do it right there on the spot. That's usually going to be the box that is checked. So don't worry if that's the box that you get.
Try not to worry.
Try not to worry. The mystery box.
That's right. Because remember, an old lawyer once told us that worrying is like paying interest on a debt that never comes due.
That's right. Absolutely. So, we all worry. It's natural.
It's
natural.
Impossible not to do.
It's impossible not to worry, but this is a case where it depends on the officer. Is this an officer that actually needs a supervisor to look at it because the officer is new? Did they not have a chance to look at the information or the full file before you got in for the interview? So there's so many different reasons as to why this box was checked. Just try not to worry. That's my other self-filing tip for everyone. All right. So something else interesting happened, and I put this question out to my team. So, how can I put this in before the sun really sets on it?
Yeah. See if we can add
something interesting happened. So
maybe add some light out here.
the 751s. We talked about 751s earlier. The 751s are really they're taking a long time. When you file your 751, your petition to remove the conditions on lawful permanent residence. When you file 2 to 3 weeks later, you're going to get a receipt. That receipt's going to say that they received the petition, and it's extending your green card for 18 months, for a year and a half. So sometimes when an applicant files a 751, it takes so long that there's a point in time when it's actually time for them to file for citizenship, file for the N400. And a lot of people don't know this, that you can actually file the N400 application while your 751 is still pending, okay? So that is a trick. This is one of my tricks. It's not even a trick, it's just what you should do if you can do it. I call it a trick because I always feel like I always in the back of my mind feel like it kind of helps move that 751 along a little bit faster. And just this week, we filed 2 N400s for applicants with pending 751s. Probably we filed those N400s maybe 2 weeks ago, and both of those 751s just got approved. Is that a coincidence? I think not.
I think not.
So I think that this is unofficial. I didn't listen to the update from the ombudsman about the 751 and N400. I probably should, but it has always worked for us. If that N400 interview, here's something I want to say though. If that N400 interview comes before that I-751 petition is approved, you need to bring your spouse, your U.S. citizen spouse, to that N400 interview, because they're going to do both interviews at the same time. Not at the same time, but one after the other. So they'll do the 751 interview with you and your spouse, and then do your N400 interview, the applicant. So yeah, I don't think it was a coincidence that we filed the 2 N400s and then the 2 751s got approved. All right. That's my other little tip. We're just full of tips today.
Yeah.
Since no one's asking any questions, and that's okay.
We're just sitting here in the dark now.
We're just sitting in the dark.
There's shrimp out there.
There's shrimp
calling us.
Yes. All right. Let's see. What else do we have today? just our usual stuff. Please file your case if you can. And also, if you filed your green card application case close to February 24th, 2020, but you didn't file the public charge rule form, the I-944, you may want to bring a copy of the USPS or FedEx to show that it was delivered before February 24th, 2020, because the officer may ask for that evidence at your interview. So that's another tip. So I was at an interview and they were looking at this case that we filed, and it was really close. The receipt notice on USCIS receipt notice said it was received on 2/24/2020, and thankfully I had my postal receipt, USPS postal receipt, that showed that it was postmarked, on the 22nd, but USCIS receipted in on the 24th. So that's something else that you guys should definitely do, and make sure you print out that confirmation delivery.
There's a question. How about bringing the son to the state his father is an American citizen? I'm not sure that
How about bringing us to the state his father is an American citizen? So there are, and I'm going to kind of guess around this question, can a father who is a U.S. citizen bring their foreign-born son to the United States? So yes, there are a couple of ways to do that. The child may already be a U.S. citizen, depending on the number of years the father lived in the United States prior to the child's birth. The father can petition for the child potentially if the child was born out of wedlock. There are certain additional requirements for that, but there are a couple of things to take a look at in a case like that, where the father can absolutely help and petition to bring his son over to the U.S. Now again, how long that's going to take depends on how old the child is as well. So you can reach out to us with more details if you want to give us more details about that, Ameline, or you can also just shoot us a message through Messenger, because it's getting dark, and I think that people who are going to look at this video later are like, what are these two doing?
Yeah.
What's happening at the Gardner-Mendoza?
That's right. Well, we hit the things that we wanted to hit.
We did,
And we
yes.
answered the questions that have come through. And again, looks like all the wild Carolina animals are coming out now.
Sounds like a little dog to me.
We're in a pretty remote area. I mean, it's a good half mile before you get to anything.
Yeah, the tropical smoothie is a good 7 minutes away. Scary.
Yeah, from the shack.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, folks.
Do we have any final announcements before we go? We will be back here next Wednesday. We are here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We were not here last week because it was my dad's birthday, and but we are here every single Wednesday.
Yep.
And if we're not, then it's going to be some other day of the week if there's a scheduling conflict. So please send us your questions. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what's going on with the community, what you guys are struggling with, and we want to help you get those questions.
Yeah, and if you have
answered.
questions, shoot them to us ahead of time. It doesn't have to be once we start the Facebook Live video. you can send them to us ahead of time, and we can try to get them answered. And if we can't, we'll have them ready to go on the Facebook Live, and then you can always watch it later if you can't watch it while it is live. So this doesn't all have to be in real time if you don't want to wait till next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Okay?
Absolutely.
But we will be back to Virginia Beach.
9.5 times out of 10, we're getting the key question answered, right?
That's
High
right.
five on that one, partner.
That's right. So anyway.
All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, and if you don't want to reach out to us through Facebook Live and you want to make an appointment with us instead, you can reach out to us at info at gmlaw.net, or you can shoot us a message through Messenger as well, or you can call our office, old school, 757-464-9224. I'm sorry that the sun set on us, but
we're having a lot of fun in Kitty Hawk. We'll be flying back to Virginia Beach, flying out of here tomorrow.
Not literally flying,
not literally driving, but yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Okay,
take
that
care,
didn't work at
guys.
all. I regret that I said that. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, everyone.
Hit that finish button before more dogs start barking. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you next week. Two thumbs up.
Two thumbs up, as always. See you next week,
all right.
everyone. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.